Well, hello everybody, and hope you're doing great today. Okay, I'll try to make this as quick as possible, but it probably won't be. First off, I wanted to say that I talked to a guy this morning. Actually, I didn't talk to him. He left a comment on a video I'd made, and recently I've made a few videos from the Tarot of Bohemians, that book, and it's a fascinating read. But the guy made a comment that really kind of resonated with me, and he said that he was so interested because there was so much opposition to it from certain sects and societies to the tarot deck and that book itself, that he found it, interesting enough to give him a reason to read it. And he said he's glad he did. And he said, in fact, that in his opinion, that's the last book you'll ever need once you've read it. But I can't agree with that statement necessarily, because you have to have a background in occult knowledge to an extent to understand it, and I'm still working on it. However, it brought me to a good understanding and thought about people, how they tend to be very opposed to occult, and the occult has been called satanic, evil, knowledge is evil. And I'm going to honestly say, 10 years ago, I wasn't really that into this stuff. Even 5 years ago, I wasn't into this particular aspect. In fact, I just found some stuff from the garage sale. This was from my garage sale last year. It's a deck of German-type fortune-telling cards. And this is the kind of interesting stuff that I'm into now. But I also found a book in there of philosophy. So even a year ago, I wasn't that into philosophy, at least not enough to keep a hardback book called The History of Philosophy. And it makes me realize how many different things I've gone through. And I said, what made me really attract to this angle and this aspect of it? It was the opposition to it. It was all the people who were so strongly opposed to it. I had to do it. So here's what I've got, and I'm going to try to lay this out as best I can. And this is only going to work for people who understand a little bit about this kind of stuff. So we have the Yod, the He, the Vow, and the He, right? Now this is supposedly the name of God, and each one has its own numerical value, and a total numerical value of 26. And the link is that the Yod is linked to ego, the He to non-ego. The Vow is linked to the link between the two and the analogy, and then the fourth He is a transition from one world to another. How it's laid out in a grid is like this, and this is where the cross comes from. Yod-He-Vau-He. Okay, and this is also related later to, and I'll show you this, the King, Queen, Knight, and Knave in the tarot deck. And that resonates with numbers 1, 4, and 7, 2, 5, 8. And the funny thing is that you have the 10 over here. This is considered the 1. Here, let me lay it out the best I can to explain where all this starts. It's the idea that this is the Holy Trinity. You have the number 1, 2, 3, and then it goes to 4 as the transitional number. Now if you add 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, you get 10. Reduced in Theosophic reduction, that's 1. Okay? Now you go to the next set. 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you reduce 7 all the way back to 1, just like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you get 28. 8 plus 2 is 10, which is reduced to 1. What this means is that basically this is the series of count. 1, 2, 3, 1. 4, 5, 6, 1. That is the Holy Trinity. And when it's drawn out on a circular format, this would be the unity principle. The dot represents the unity principle, the circle around it represents the universe, the eternity, the never-ending beginning, all-encompassing. So here we have Yod-He-Vau-He also written out in a different form. Yod-He-Vau, and then the second He is on the outer ring. So the second He represents eternity and passing and changing, new beginning. But the Yod, He, and Vow sit right in the center. That is the Holy Trinity, and that's the triangle itself. When it's written like this, you can see the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you start to find that these symbols really start to correlate with things you may have already seen. Now my further research, my personal research into this, is to try to link up basically ancient ideas with, let's say, Hinduism. Okay, and this is the one I've got. This is how I'm linking these to the chakras. We have the first arcana. We have the minor arcana, the head and the spirit, right? Then we have the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is related to the Creator Divine. And I believe it may also be related to Shakti, or the thousand-petaled lotus. which could be the spirit, the pineal gland, however you want to put it. This is it. That's the beginning. Then you have the chest, which is represented by the queen, right? And that's the preserver and the astral. And I haven't exactly figured out which chakra that I can completely relate that to. Obviously, the heart chakra would be the obvious, but this one, the body, the material, the night, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is the third one, and the symbol is for neuter, or transformer, physical, neither male nor female, and I found Anahata. This is the Hindu symbol. This one is Anahata, the union of male and female. So there they are, using it again, and that star comes up over and over again. So then they have the final one, the knave, the smaller. This is the 10. This is the end, the very final, the transition from one world to another, or regeneration. And this relates to the three main nadis, or the upward movement. See, and this would be the transfer back into the next realm. Okay, so over here we have the Anahata symbol, and it's a fascinating comparison because you have the 12-petaled lotus, and that represents 12, which is, I won't even go into the number 12. Anybody who knows this, has gone this far without being confused, knows what I'm talking about. Representing the septenary within, you know, the eternity of circle. It's a really fascinating idea. There's a 4-petaled lotus as well on some of them, and the 4 also represents that 1, 2, 3, and 4 transition, right? So here's what I've also found out. That they have 21 minor chakras, and in the Septenaries, there's a 19 and 20, 21 ternary, and then a septenary means 7 ternaries, right? So this is 3 of these. 3 numbers in a set. 3, a holy trinity makes a ternary, and 7 of those makes a septenary, or 7. Okay, so also after that comes number 22, which isn't actually a number, it's the closing set. And with the 21 minor chakras, it very much correlates to that number 21, right? So we have the first septenary, okay? So check this out. We have the 1, 2, 3, and then the 4, 5, 6 representing the balance, and then the 7 in the center. I mean, there's simple explanations and complex explanations as to why this symbol comes up, and why 7 is so important, why 3 is so important. But when you start studying the symbols, it pretty much presents itself. I'm not saying I have 100% monopoly on this by any means. I am a total rookie at this, and I sometimes feel like a fool for even doing this, but I want to share this stuff. So, right, we have the first septenary, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next one is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the 13 in the center. And then 13, it always starts off with the previous number, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and the 19 in the center, right? The final one looks like this. It's a triangle. The 0 represents the 22, and that's where it ends. And it goes on and on. I mean, numbers can keep climbing, but this is generally the end of the game. For as far as today's video goes, I'm not going to get into the other details. But so you have the very first one here, up to 7, the second, the third, and this represents the 4th, and the return. So this is the basics of it. God, man, and nature. The return, transition. And this page is empty. I'm not going to get into the listing details, but I'll do another one trying to explain where I'm coming from on this. How ironic that this popped up as soon as I decided to make this video. And I'm just... This is an amazing deck, you know, and when you start talking about the number 9, let's just get out of this right now. We'll just stick with that one, and know that the deck came to me. It just fell in my lap out of a pile of stuff in my back room here, and I thought, how fascinating. You know, each one of these numbers totally relates to something on there, and 9 being a transitional number as well is fully represented in these cards. So I'll give a closer look. I tried to make a video, but it just didn't turn out. So namaste, everybody. Hope you're having a great day, and we're gonna figure this shit out, right? Peace.